Welcome back, fellow shop rats. Today we are back on the 1970 Dodge Challenger that we call Stitches. Today I'm just trying to get my energy and momentum back. The terrible cold snap outside has broken finally, so we're back up into the 20s weather-wise, not below zero, where it's almost impossible to heat the shop. And today, the first thing I want to do is just get my tube of seam sealer and go around under the car and touch up those spots that we didn't catch before. After that, we'll see where we go. It's all about spending the day here in the shop working on whatever I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing today. I'm Mike, and you're watching My Car Shop. Sometimes you have to do a little project that's simple to gain momentum to get onto the bigger stuff. We know that the next big project on this car is going to be trimming out the excess metal in the trunk floor area and getting the trunk floor installed. I'm not quite ready to do that today. If you'll notice, the shop has been, committing a neatness. In our last episode, was just covering more of the strategies and goals that I have, the priorities of the next couple of months. And I was doing some shop cleanup. I remembered I had about a dozen of the cupboard doors from my brother-in-law's house when he put a new kitchen in. And I thought, those might look good on that welding cabinet. The reason for that is because I was welding here one day, and down in here is my polishing wheel, and some hot sparks got down on it and started smoldering. And I thought, if I just blocked the sparks from getting in there, that wouldn't happen. I remembered these doors. It's been about a week I've been wanting to do this. I got my staging area over here cleaned up. I still got to do the toolbox and the back bench, but between things, that's what I'm working on. But today I wanted to get something done on an actual project. So if Mike would just shut up and just get to work, then maybe something would actually get done. You know what? If I would just get to the point. I picked up a tube of seam sealer from Auto Value, which is one of my local auto parts chains. It's probably a Midwest chain of auto parts. Auto Wares is the supplier. Auto Value is the store, and their auto body supply stuff is Auto Body Master. This is Auto Body Master seam and joint sealer. It was just under $14 for a tube, so that's not too bad. The other stuff I've priced has been between 20 and 30, so it's a little bit more economical. This thing spun up so we can get at the bottom side. Got to move it over a little bit so we don't hit the bake oven, because I did put that in a different spot. If you were around in the last, I don't know if it was the last episode, but it was an episode, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, that should clear. We'll just keep a quick eye on that. We just don't want to cause more dents. Although, it does make for good content showing you guys how to gently do dent removal. Oh yeah, we got room we haven't even used yet. Here we go. I don't have this quite balanced right, but it's good enough. It's not really as hard to spin as what I made it out to be, but you got to do it for dramatic effect on the video, right? Got to see where we're at. Okay, that's a little bit of seam sealing there. That orange paint would be nice. I'm going to grab that real quick, and we'll just go through and mark up the stuff I need to do, and that will make it a little bit easier as we're going through with our tube of Acumpucky. A lot of times for me, I have to go over things a bunch of times just to be sure I don't miss something. It's important, that we pay attention to stuff, and little details matter. That one will catch probably from the inside. Yeah, there we go. There, here. Doesn't have to be much. It's just enough to draw attention to what needs to be done. Oh, we might want to run a bead there and one there. Definitely got to run some beads in here, up in here. Okay, that one's already kind of done, but we'll do that a little bit more. And maybe we'll run some along the frame rail there also. So yeah, we're just, trying to scope in on what's got to be done and mark it up so we can do it. I've done a lot of it. There's always more to do. And since we're not sure we're going to get lizard skin on this thing, then I want to be extra sure that all the joints are sealed up good. Don't get me wrong, this car isn't going to, like, it's not going to be seeing tons of salty roads and stuff, but still keeping that moisture out of those areas is important. I got a whole bunch up here that we didn't get. Oh yeah, all of this. There's a lot. One tube may not be enough. We'll see. We're going to let that dry a little bit and we'll be back. Looking pretty good. The car is cold, the seam sealer is cold, and they're having a little struggle getting it to spread out. So I just went and put it in front of the heater for a little bit. It was in the house. I thought it would be fine, but it isn't. I just had the primer that we're going to use in front of the heater and got that nice and warmed up. So it will be ready, but you know, little things like that. So we'll let that dry a little bit. We'll let that tube heat up and we'll continue on with our process here of trying to get some of this stuff seam sealed up. Remember, our goal is to start up here and work our way back towards the trunk floor. We've done this twice already. We did it with welding. We did it with little fabrication details that we had missed. Now we're doing it with the seam sealer to be sure we've got everything covered and good to go all the way to the back, up into about here somewhere. When we do the trunk floor, then we'll do this as a section. I still need to put the rear shock cross member in as well. So there's always something. Something I wanted to mention as I'm doing this, if you've ever seen these cars from the factory, they use a lot of seam sealer to cover up little pinholes and gaps and things. We get the idea sometimes in the restoration world that, you know, we have to get everything 100% welded together with no gaps and no pinholes, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. I'm not criticizing that, but I am saying that even the factory didn't do that. These cars were slapdash together. They were not high quality. They really weren't. You know, sometimes I really laugh at the guys who are trying to get everything factory perfect when things from the factory were so imperfect. Obviously, on this car, we don't give a crap. You know, this is a stitched together junkyard pile Challenger that we're just salvaging and trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear or something. But I was thinking about that. You know, just if you've ever done any collision work on these cars when the metal's not rusty and it's unrestored, which I've done, and then you get into what's there and you go, wow, these things were not exactly real high quality. None of them were. I don't care what brand it was. They were, you know, they were production pieces. They were making them as fast as they could to try to make money, and they were trying to make them safe, of course. Get them done, get them out there to the public, make money. That's what the company was about. So anyway, we're doing good. I got a little bit of touch up to do here. I can see, oops, I'm using the caulking gun type of seam sealer. Some guys like the brushable in a can, which I like also. The only reason I use this is because it's what's readily available. If I had the other readily available locally, I would probably pick it up. They could get it for me, but this is what they always have on the shelf, and I usually don't plan far enough ahead to think of anything else. So, you know, that's the way it goes. Okay, we're done. A little pinhole right there. You can see a little daylight through there. These 99-cent brushes from Walmart work great. You get the job done, throw it out. Let's just keep moving. But you know, I like it because I can go along, lay a bead, and then just come back and brush it in real nice. Work it into the cracks, work it into the holes, whatever needs to be worked into, we can work it into it. It doesn't have to be high holy pretty. Again, the whole point of this is just to help seal things up so water and moisture doesn't get in down the road. Plus, it just, I think, makes it look a little nicer. That's just my opinion. It should be yours. Everybody has different ways of doing things, you know. Most of this stuff isn't right or wrong. It just is. That one's okay there. Working into that a little more. It's a nice thing. You see a spot where there's a gap there because there's two pieces of overlap. And you just, that's actually a factory piece right there. And you just rush it into it like that. It works good. So, all right, I'm going to go back up here again and work my way back. Well, from what I can see, I think we've got it all done up to about here, actually into here. I need to spin the car the other way and look at it from the other side. I'm sure there's stuff I missed, but I want to take my primer now and just touch everything up a little bit, make sure it's all black, get rid of the orange so I know what I've gone over. So I had the primer over in the heater a while ago, so it's nice and warm. This should go pretty quick. That's not good. We had an issue here I've never had before. This bar has fallen out, which is fine before, but my pin, this whole thing slid back, and that means the safety collar that goes on here can't quite get into position. So I got to get a pry bar and pry this back a little bit. Yeah, there's a pry bar back there. So let's get a pry bar so we can pry this back, because what happened was, you notice this thing all of a sudden went on its own because this had fallen out. The pin isn't engaging all the way for the stop. And yeah, so yeah, we got to fix that. That's not good. You know, what's happening is because this stop was gone and I just didn't get it on there quick enough, the whole thing is starting to pull out of this. So what I'm doing, and it seems to be working, is I am taking this out and I am just working back and forth like this, pulling on it, just trying to get it to come back into position. We're definitely making progress. I couldn't do it with a pry bar. It'd be a whole lot easier if I had help, but I don't. Yeah, it's always something. Oh, there it goes. Bingo, that did it. All right. If that ever happens, all you gotta do is take the jack handle, put it in there, and just pry on it. Whew. Learned something. And we're gonna make sure that never falls out again. I had duct tape on that handle for a reason. We're gonna put some more on there. That doesn't happen again, I hope. A little excitement for the day. Okay, that should help. Okay. That shouldn't fall off anymore. And we're pinned up good. Now let's get the thing up where it needs to be. There we go. Yeah, that's what happens. The handle fell down and popped the rubber off. And then the thing slid and this pin wasn't engaged all the way and it walked back. So, all right, let's see what we got. All looks good here. Nothing up in there. Looks good, looks good. I think we did this pretty well already, but just touching up stuff that I see needs to be primed if it needs touching up. This is all looking good in here. Yeah. Okay, there's a spot right there that we need to do. There we go. There's a spot there that just needs to be primed with black. Yeah, I think everything else looks really good in here. Really good. So we just got one little spot right there to put some seam sealer on. Oh, that was orange paint, not black. Okay, let's get that little touch up and that'll do it. There we go. I think that looks pretty darn good. So I feel like we are okay from the firewall here. There's some stuff to do on the firewall. We've got some work to do on the 4-speed hump yet, but we're pretty good all the way now back to about here, where we still need to join the shock cross member in, and then we'll be working on this chunk as the trunk floor. So yeah. Yep, I think, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, our next episode, we will be trimming everything out to get the trunk floor fitted in the car. That's progress. That's really good progress. I think in the interest of interest, I'm going to just leave this up on its side like this for now. That leaves room in the shop. If I have to pull a vehicle into work on it, I can shove it back out of the way. But it's up and out and in a position where I can actually work on the trunk floor. I'm looking at the height of that thing. Boy, I tell you what, it almost looks like I could roll that thing right over there. If I could put the Oakland out, it would be tempting to just try it and see if it goes over there. The only question is the hump on the quarter panel. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine where it's at. I've got a big pile of stuff right here also that I'm going to take out to the car trailer and put in the 47. All of this is 47 Ford parts. There's no point in this stuff getting ruined in the shop here. This is our upholstery for all the doors, all of that stuff. So we'll take that out of here in a bit and get that squirreled away in the car itself so it's out of the way for the winter, not in the shop. Well, I think that'll do it for this one. That was good progress. We used up almost the entire tube on that thing, but that's fine. We won't need any for a while. I'll pick some more up again when I have a little extra cash here and there. But we've got it done inside and outside. It's seam sealed. So everything from, well, everything we replaced, which was from the firewall all the way back to the hump, all hand fabricated, every bit of it. All of that stuff is seam sealed and done and ready to be squirted with something should we so choose to do that. This car's come a long way. If you've seen the early episodes, I did a progress episode on this car about a year ago and showed it was rotted. There was nothing left. The only reason I got this car was because the front frame rails were intact. Everything from the firewall to the rear bumper was gone except for a little bit of the tunnel in the floor and the hump over the rear axle. Other than that, it was wasted. We've made every bit of it. Rear frame rails, subframe connectors, all the floor pans, everything's handmade. And that's the fun to me of this, is continuing to do projects like this that develop my skills, continue to increase my ability to make things that I never thought I could make before, stuff like that. All right, there's, I don't know, close to 200 episodes on this car. If you're interested in seeing the whole project, go back and check all that out. Look for the playlist called The Forgotten 70 Challenger, Stitches Challenger, something like that. We'll catch you on the next one. Oh, like, share, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. It's important. And the most important thing around here, I don't want you to forget. Rah!